Starfield is one of the most hyped up games this year, and in fact, one of the most hyped up games pretty much since Cyberpunk 2077, and honestly, it's making a lot of people worried about the state of the game on release due to developers' promises and just general performance. So worried, in fact, that certain people on the internet are hell-bent on finding and taking about everything they possibly can when it comes to ruining the game's reputation, and making it out that the developers have lied to their audience.
Nerd.
Now, while some of this may be true, a lot of it is just negativity and controversy where it isn't really necessary. So today, we're hopping into some of the Starfield controversies taking over the internet recently, and seeing if this is really something we should be worried about before getting the game. You know, the almost free game on Game Pass that nobody really has to pay much for if they don't want to. Now, before we get into this, I'm not bashing the game. I think that people are overly worried and there is some intentionally trying to ruin the game's rep, which always happens when something popular takes off anyway. We never know. Maybe the game will be trash. It isn't out yet, but I'm optimistic. You know, I'm the type of guy that wants to believe in something until proven otherwise. And to say it's on Game Pass, you don't have to spend a lot of money on it. It's not like you're going to pre-order it, spend, you know, $70 or something like that on a game that is just going to be trash. You really can just get it for practically nothing on Game Pass. So it all started when a leaked video of somebody playing Starfield was walking through a desert-like planet for quite some time and hit an invisible wall where a message pops up in their game stating, "Boundary reached, open the map to explore another region or return to your ship." Instantly, people were furious. This took over Twitter. Everybody took up arms against Bethesda, who told gamers that they can explore the entire planet. So people were thinking, okay, yes, I can just walk seamlessly, like kind of like No Man's Sky, right? Pete Hines, the head of publishing at Bethesda, even said, yes, if you want, walk on Brave Explorer, when asked if you can explore the whole planet. Turns out, though, this was seemingly taken wildly out of context. Because, yeah, you can explore the entire planet, but the way it works is the game will load a certain area around where you land your ship, and yes, you can reach the end of that area, but you can also go back to your ship, land somewhere else, and explore a huge area there too. So in theory, you can explore the entire planet, you just have to move your ship every now and again, and it's not that totally seamless, No Man's Sky kind of, you know, a planet exploration that maybe people were expecting. But if you think this is a big deal, the area that loads when you land your ship is reportedly 40 to 45 minutes to get from one side of that map to the other. This is bigger than Fallout 4's entire map, which apparently takes around 35 minutes to travel across. And this is only for one landing. You can land so many times across so many planets. You can kind of understand the scale of the game at this point. It is massive. So in my opinion, this is a total non-issue. If people need to have seamless no loading screen, walking across planet, which would literally take you forever to do anyway, like, I don't know what to say. It's not necessary. I do understand why people may be mad if they felt like they were promised something and they're not going to get it. But honestly, I'm glad it isn't like that. If you played No Man's Sky, now it's a good game, but most of the planets are dead, the barren, the copy and pastes. If that seamless exploration of the world has to be sacrificed for hopefully more detailed, unique, and graphically enhanced planets, then I'll take that any day. And that's not even starting on the performance issues it would come with if that was the case. But that's not the only thing that people are also up in arms about. Clearly they have too much time on their hands, by the way. Because now they're up in arms about the starting menu screen for the game. And don't get me wrong, it could definitely be better, and I do like a nice starting menu screen. I feel like it can really get the hype going. But look at this. It's fine. It isn't representative of the game. They went for a minimalist look, like many other games. You know, like all these other games. But since when was this the hallmark for great games, being that the menu is either better or not as good as others? And yeah, some of those examples I used, some of them are definitely more detailed than others, but I just don't get it. Take From Software, for example, the people behind Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring, all that good stuff that we all know. Those games are incredible. They have an insane fan base. They always review well. They always outsell everything. Game of the Years multiple times in a row. And the menus are just so bland and lazy. Like, they are the laziest menus ever. A black screen with some text on it that does nothing, a couple of sounds here and there. That is all there is. Maybe some music playing in the background. But these games are phenomenal. So everybody's saying that it's a lack of effort or this or that, and it's going to be representative of the final product. They really have no idea what they're talking about, because it is not the case at all. And yeah, would it be nice to look at a cool menu when you're booting up the game? Of course it would. And don't get me wrong, I don't think there's anything wrong with the Starfield menu. I do really enjoy Borderlands 2's menu, for example. That is quite interactive. There's a lot to look at. You can move it. There's a lot going on, and it's really cool. But does it mean I'm going to enjoy the game any more or any less? No. And if you guys think that, then you're probably gaming for the wrong reasons. But it isn't just like troll-hungry internet controversy goblins on Twitter. It's actual people from game studios, big names, such as Mark Kern, who previously worked at Blizzard as the team lead for the original World of Warcraft before he left to make his own company, which apparently this says he was forcibly removed in 2013, so like, I don't know if his opinion means much. But he states that start screens can reveal a lot about how rushed the team was and how much pride they take in their work. Starfield's start screen either shows hasty shipping deadlines by a passionate team overworked, or a team that doesn't care in the first place. Start screens are often done at the very end of development. Teams that take pride in their work, Kern said, will often redo a start screen just prior to a game shipping in order to put a good face forward. So yeah, it isn't just trolls, these are actual people that worked on big games saying this. Again, it doesn't really make any difference whatsoever, because I hasten to add that Skyrim has one of the most bland screens ever, and is one of the biggest games to ever hit, the industry. Skyrim is absolutely incredibly influential, and that is one of the most bland screens ever. Another one is Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, even Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is a bit more spicy than the other ones, but even so, they're all bland, and they're all games that have just absolutely been, what have made Bethesda what they are today, which is a massive, massive company that everybody loves for the most part. So yeah, I don't think it's representative of how passionate a team is. I don't think it's a representation of how overworked they are or the lack of care. I truly think it is a design choice, and yeah, maybe it's not something that they make a super priority, but that's totally okay. I'd rather have a good game. Is that so much to ask for? And yeah, the fact that maybe it's not going to be a seamless open world and that you actually have to land at various spots on the planet, you're still going to have 40 to 45 minutes of area to explore. That is an insane amount, and you are going to see varying degrees of wildlife, different things on the planet. It's going to be a lot more dense if they can actually render and process these areas in smaller kind of regions as opposed to just massive open endless worlds that are going to be dead and few and far between. And thankfully, Bethesda have actually released that they're going to be letting us know what planets are barren and which ones aren't, which are these Goldilocks planets that apparently have the perfect kind of levels for life. So before you even land on them, you don't need to explore an entire planet. You're already going to know what you're kind of getting into, what you should be looking for, all that kind of stuff, which I think is a great idea. But to be honest, I don't know. I think that a lot of people have just been burnt with games recently, such as Cyberpunk, No Man's Sky as well. That's the thing that everybody compares this game to, even though I think it's going to be vastly different. I think the only negative for me is that I do wish you could fly to and from the planet naturally, kind of like No Man's Sky, but apparently you can't. It's loading screens, and you can only really fly around in space and stuff like that. Not the end of the world. I still think it's going to be great, and if that's the sacrifice that we need,
sacrifices must be made
to have a genuinely good game and performance to actually be good and run well for everybody, then I'm more than happy to have that sacrifice. I don't think that people realize the amount of tech it would take and the amount of sacrifice we'd need just to have that on a game that looks as good as this one. So honestly, I think that we're in for a good deal, and I'm hoping that this is the case. But that's about it, guys. In my opinion, these controversies don't really have a leg to stand on. The game could be absolute garbage, or it could be the best thing to ever release. We have really no idea until it releases. So I think everybody just needs to kind of calm down, wait for the game to release. If you think it's going to be bad and you're worried about the controversy, the menu and stuff like that, or the lack of exploration, then don't get the game. It's absolutely fine. And if you aren't worried and you want to take a chance, or maybe if you're just a bit skeptical, get it on Game Pass. It's £5, $5, something like that a month to play the entire game. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, you don't get early access, but do you really need it?
I need it!
And for those of you that have pre-ordered it, that are already obsessed with the game, you guys think it's going to be amazing, you don't care about controversy, you've got full faith in Bethesda, you're going to absolutely play the hell out of this game, then I really hope it is what you wish it is. I hope it's amazing. I hope it's absolutely the best game to ever release for your guys' sake. And I am also very excited. I'm not going to pre-order it. I am waiting for some reviews first, just because of performance more than anything. But yeah, I think it's going to be great. We need to have more of a positive outlook on the gaming industry rather than negativity. I mean, yeah, if a game comes out and developers need to be bashed for releasing an unfinished game or a garbage game, then that's fair enough. But before the game is even released, do we really need to be hitting such a, what I think is a great looking game so far? And yeah, like I said, could be bad, could be great. We don't know. But guys, I will keep you updated as always, so please, if you are not subscribed, consider subscribing, like the video, it really helps me out, and leave a comment. Are you going to get the game? Are you worried about these controversies? What are your opinions? Because this was all my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but you never know. That's how opinions work, you know. Sometimes the good, sometimes the bad, sometimes the right, sometimes the wrong. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, and I will see you in the next one.